And information keeps coming out bit by bit. Yesterday we had a field tour, of which we realized most of the things don't exist or exist not in the right form they should. For example, the furniture of 60,000 euros, that furniture doesn't equate to that amount of money. We have seen the office space. Basically today we want to hear from you. The principles of natural justice is that we give you a fair hearing. Whoever doesn't speak anything today, we will have given you a chance to speak. So whoever has something to say, we will give you enough time to speak. So today, if you have a presentation, let us hear this presentation. We have requested for documents. I see you have loaded me with a file. I don't know if you have brought a file for my members as well. I don't know what is the content of the file. You need to read what you are laying, what you are giving us, document by document, before you hand over this file. But I don't want to conclude yet, but should anyone wish to say anything today, and we are going to even take that power you have of spending at source, because we have analyzed the PFMA, we have interacted with the PSST. The legal should say something today. When we make these recommendations, normally you think committees are joking, but what I want to guarantee, whatever recommendation we put in that report and is adopted by Parliament, should you fail to recommend, we will not appropriate for you any money. If you want money, you will go to the house on the floor. But as your sectoral committee, we will not give you that money. Because what we are doing, we are trying to clean up. So if you can't clean up yourselves, don't expect us to give you any money. So legal today, I expect you to give us an opinion on record regarding your spending at source, which will be used now by the committee to make observations and recommendations. I see board members, even the file you have just loaded me with, I've already seen the board resolutions. Board members were involved in approval of this loan. I've already read through in this little time. The handover reports, the wagons that are missing are more than what you are claiming. I've already seen the handover report of the engineer, chief mechanical engineer, Kafero, and his predecessor. Yesterday we told you about wagons. You have advertised sale in Tanzania. We need you to tell us, because I have the advert here now with me. These wagons you're selling in Tanzania. The wagons you sold last year, the 81 wagons, you claimed most of them had gotten accidents. You need to explain to us. This is your chance, because I don't know where an accident of 81 wagons has taken place in this country. But you can explain to us. Maybe there's something we did not see. So basically, today is the last day. For anyone who wishes to clear anything, the recommendation will be inclusive of everyone's name, whoever was involved. If there was financial loss, you expect a recommendation with all the names of everyone who was involved. So that is why we have called you here, all of you, those who participated in the past, those who participated currently, to give you a fair hearing, so that you don't say they didn't give me a chance to explain to myself, to explain to them, sorry. So basically, today we are going to do more of listening. We have been dwelling much on the vehicles, on the money for training, but the elephant is now the money for rehabilitation. We have also already established imported through URI. So now I want you to be clean. Give us documents regarding the contract and the what do you call them? Are they BOQs? The BOQs for works. So that we establish what was in this contract versus what he imported. So whoever is in charge, you should be able to explain. And we don't want to hear someone, I was not there. If you're head of department, the next time you say I was not there, we shall just send you to police. And we're tired of sending people to record statements. Some of you must really be prosecuted. So those statements are going to lead to your prosecution. Don't think a parliament just says me to write a statement. That is the beginning of an investigation. Once parliament adopts our report, it is that statement that is going to be the first step. So with those few words, I want to invite the Honourable Minister. But what even beats our understanding is yesterday we came across another loan from finance for the same Imathia. Even before we have finished analyzing this one, you're already in the process of securing another one. Really, you're testing our resolve. Honourable Minister, allow me to invite you and your team to make their presentation.
Chair.
On each recommendation. So you have either to speak now, but whoever was involved at whichever stage, whether board, where the recommendation will have all your names. So if you can't speak, we will say you decided to...
Chair.
In addition, Chair, head PDU, the language you use, if you jump out of the business, for the organization to remove jokers. 2, once the costing is done, payment are first done in finance before the goods are released. Do not expect any goods to go out of the organization when they are not paid for. Unless you are...
The principal internal auditor clearly explained that items were paid before they were taken. That's why it is an advance payment before taking the items. However, the actual quantities at that time were not known exactly.
Chairman, is that the meaning of the word advance payment?
Zadok, we are concluding on this matter. If they have nothing to something.
Thank you, honorable members. Maybe I want to respectfully answer allowed to the minister's submission of saying that management should come out clearly and show the process and why URC has a special disposal kind of disposal, because URC is a special infrastructure. It is not like any other infrastructure, like maybe you are selling maybe the car that has come on board and which can be bought here. We are talking of assets that have been here in existence for years and years. And I request maybe for you to have a snapshot of what the kind of wagons we are talking about. Maybe the committee of parliament would visit some of these wagons, both locally here and also maybe go to Tanzania, because we have wagons there which are still there. When you look at the value, the board of survey that was done previously, I think now it is 2 years, you'll find that the wagons, the amount of money that was valued is not the same amount of money that the wagons have now. Because the time the board of survey was done, all parts were still in existence. But recently, I think I got a call from one of our counterparts from Tanzania. And he was like, is it Tanzania or Kenya? And he called me and he said, your wagons are being calibrated. Because even wherever they are also being calibrated. So when this board of survey is taking place, we get staff from URC, we get staff from the government chief valuer. I think we also get staff from other Ministry of Works. They go, but that is after the declaration by the head of department. Head of department declares the wagons that are in scrap form, meaning by declaration, these wagons are no longer useful. So after yes. So when they are declared, that's I want to explain the board, how the board comes in. So when they are declared, the board of survey goes and looks at these assets. Then when they go and look at these assets, they assess them, they weigh them, and then they also set a reserve price for those wagons. When they set a reserve price for those wagons, an estimated cost, because they call it estimated budget or budget cost, they make a cost analysis which is brought to the board, and that actually it is brought to the Finance and Administration Committee. So when we look at the estimated cost, we look at the wagons which are going to be disposed of, then we present them to the board. When we present them to the board, then the board approves and management disposes of these assets. However, what I have observed, and I think in my committee meeting, I have always raised it. I said at times, why don't we use another method of disposal? Because an estimated cost can be like around 7.5 billion. But when they are into actual disposal, you find that at least we have realized something like 3.7 billion or 5 billion or 2 billion. So you find that most of the money is lost during the disposal. So then, but the problem comes in the weighing during the disposal. When they are doing the board of survey, these wagons are not weighed. So the board of survey just comes up with an estimated cost. So the actual disposal, during the actual disposal, there is no, they just weigh. So when you ask why is money lost during this time, they say this is the actual weight of the wagon, putting in mind the depreciation and any other process. So I think that's where the problem comes in. So if we had solved this, we can look at the board of survey report where an estimated cost was given by the board of survey vis-a-vis the actual earnings from the disposal. Then maybe now we can look at that difference and ask where that the difference is.
Mr. Chairman, can
Honorable Zadok first, then Honorable Ann.
Are known. By the time you sold them, you weighed them. You know the kilograms. Why can't you give the sold? You have already received. What did you receive out of those wagons? Because my first question was, you had 17 wagons which we assume that had different accidents, which at the same time they have different depreciation rates, but they are giving us the same amount, 21 million. How did you achieve that one? That question has been dodged. Nobody has answered it. The risk of showing exactly what you sold and what you got out of each, you are not giving it us. You are only lecturing us how we can get the information. Are we here to get information or to learn how to get the information? Thank you.
Honorable Ann, Honorable Metrin, then lastly, on the wagon issue, lastly, Honorable Tan.
My concern was about this, the price of wagons, because it is uniform. How comes that you can have a uniform price on the same product? I think it should be different. If another one is 21 million, another one can be 23, another one can be 20. So that's where we are confused. Some of us, we are, like me, I'm very confused when I compare how the receipts look like because there is no way how you can have a smart receipt which doesn't show the paid cash or the paid check and the balance of the money remaining. So I would like if you can clarify and you give us the right thing so that we can be on the same page. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Metrin.
Yeah, thank you, Bwana Chair, for giving me this time. And the thing was very simple because there are different types of wagons which they sold. For us, we needed at least you say, I sold 5 wagons at such amount, like as if you are receiving and spending. You are selling your thing. Yeah? But now, at a certain price, you say, I sold 5 wagons at 100 millions. Then 6 wagons at 10 millions. Like that. We need that accountability up to the total amount of money. Because for us, we are not engineers. We need at least fiscal thing. We need to touch something. You see? Thank you very much. I remain Metri Nanzala, MP na Misindwa County. We are really confused and we are wasting time here. Be open and speak the truth. The truth will set you free. Thank you.
Honorable Batan.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Atan Moses, member of the colleagues on the committee and the PPDA, Uganda Railways Corporation. Attachment B. On disposal, Company 1, purchaser, Company 1, could you avail us the amount generated from each? You have given us on first stage the unit price per kilo, what you said and what you got. Could you avail us per wagon what you generated, like you did on the number 2, company purchaser? You are availing a continuous price of about 21 million, but I wish to throw you to the serial number, number 33 and 34. How does the unit price arise to turn into kgs? You gave us a document that is not paged, but you can see the page before the call for bid. The last 2 wagons, you have 1,600 something kgs under unit price. How does that arise? And what are you trying to hide? And if on the purchaser of these 34 wagons, you could give us the proceeds from each wagon, why then do you hide information on the other many wagons, yet you had this information? We are not dealing with something you're going to do ahead, but we have the information. And concealing information, Chair, wouldn't it be procedure right that we get PPDA to get on oath and give us all that is within his reach? Because we are being denied information, and you reach an extent of giving documents where unit price is in kgs. How does it arise?
You respond. We have other issues to handle. Whatever you don't say now.
Mr. Chairman, Chair, concession. I thought I would be able to make it clear for members to understand, sir. Thank you very much. Also to inform, yes, the Board of Survey was actually conducted. We went through an advertisement process as highlighted by the head PDU through accreditation, because we had to sell to the final manufacturers. And how the payment is being conducted is that they advance us the money, because we agreed that the unit price would be 1,620. So we said, first advance us the money, then we weigh. As you take your products, then we deduct, we keep reducing. Now, the moment it reaches 0, then before you take any other scrap, you again advance us money. So that's what we agreed upon. Mr. Chairman,
MD, what is disturbing us? You are innocent and you sold these wagons per kilo. How many in total, how many kilos did you sell? And how much did you get? It is simple.
Yes, exactly, Mr. Chairman. That information is available, but let me request the Principal Internal Auditor to give us.
Just to give further information and clarity on the process, like my minister asked. I will pick it from when the disposal has been placed, a contract signed with the Diamond. At that point, all those are put, the wagons, and they're not on wagons alone, just for the members, there are other metal scraps, including old culverts. They are all scraps. Now, what happens is these vehicles, the seller comes, and the wagon frame is long and with a number, and he cuts them. First of all, the vehicle that is going to load is weighed using the weigh bridge. And we have been using, for this case, the weigh bridge of Ministry of Works, the mobile one. It is weighed to know what is the empty weight of the vehicle. Now, because these are heavy metals, they are now the ones that has been cut. If it is a wagon, and cut and put in this vehicle, and again the vehicle is taken to the weigh bridge. You now identify, you now get the net, you get the price, I mean the weight of the scrap that is not vehicle. And you now deduct what was the empty weight of the vehicle, plus, I mean now you now deduct from the full weight of this vehicle. And at that point, there are 3 or 4 people who are witnessing. And I'm saying this because my department has been in the verification of the weight, at that point of weighing. And for the Kampala side, we have been doing it at the good shed.
You are just
now,
Chair.
I'm trying to give you this.
Now,
So
Chair.
far.
Sir,
Chair.
you don't need
Chair.
that process. Because
Okay,
we
I'm just
know
giving the
that,
net weight.
we want to know what is the total
Exactly.
amount of kilos you sold and how much did you get.
The stories and technicalities.
Chair, let me
Chair.
give you this.
Chair.
Don't dive
So far.
No,
And I'm
to-
using,
to
I'm using this because, Chair, just permit me
to
this.
diamond steel.
Diamond steel, yes. So far, we have generated 2,033,100,000.
Chair, order.
No, this is
Order.
the amount generated.
Order, Chair.
Order.
Chair, I think either we are flogging a dead horse or we are dealing. We have asked a very simple question.
Exactly.
Give us the net weight. Chair, it has been 1 hour. I have been counting the time we have taken. Is it in order for us to proceed deliberating one item since 9 a.m. up to now? I think, Chair, the information is not there. I beg that you rule. We proceed to the next item. We will produce a report where we will have all those findings.
Okay, can we move? Tell us, engineer. You didn't tell us where these, because I've seen the handover report of the former mechanical engineer. This was Peter Katweba's. There were only 84 wagons that were declared scrap from Uganda, and another 84 from KRC, and another 32 from Tanzania. So have you sold wagons belonging to Tanzania and Kenya? Where did you get the scrap?
You already warned us that we shouldn't say I was not there. But I think that question can easily be answered by my principal. I have a principal mechanical engineer here who can give us more information about that question.
Reports about especially the wagons. Those were book figures. These handover reports over a long period of time, no one went and physically verified the exact numbers of wagons. The Honorable Chair and members, it is clearly discerned and written that those are book figures. And I think that statement is clear in all those reports. Honorable Chair, I submit.
But the mechanical engineer taking over.
Yes, Honorable Chair, it has been always that when the handovers take place, the other items, it's easy, especially the ones that are geolocated in Uganda. The other items, basically wagons, are all over the network. So when handovers are taking place from one chief engineer to the other, they do not go, they use the last book figure they had.
So they don't do an assessment of the wagons?
No, they do not.
But you still accept the handover report?
It is only this time, Mr. Chair, that Engineer Prosper insisted that he wants an accurate figure for the wagons being handed over.
Okay, where did they get these accidents? These are wagons. Where was this accident?
These accidents are over a long period of time. These accidents happened, some of these wagons were accidented even 10 years ago. The report, Mr. Chairman, let me answer. We get accidents of our wagons everywhere. For instance, in Tororo, I won't use the statement as my chief mechanical engineer said that I was not around, but Kenya repatriated very many wagons of Uganda that were accidented in Kenya, and they were received by Engineer Peter Katwebaze in Uganda. They are all at Tororo. So we have had a legacy of accidents over a period of time. It's not that the accidents happened within 1 year. These are even 10 years ago.
This is not the first disposal, sir.
In 2023, I've been made to understand that they disposed, my colleague can tell us. Then in 2024-25,
2 billion shillings you received during this disposal process. How many new wagons are you planning to procure, or have you already procured? Because you are an entity that is not making profit. That was your statement on day one. So, are you just an employment entity, or are you a service delivery entity? How do you make profits when you don't have wagons on the road? That is one. Two, all these 4 receipts, they are indicating check number 918 throughout. How can all 4 payments have one check number?
Mr. Chairman, I would first request that you give us time we are able to produce the number of kilograms of the scrap we have been able to dispose of. I'm sure we have them on the file, so we should be able to produce them. Mr. Chairman, how many are we planning to procure in terms of the wagons? Mr. Chairman, we are planning to procure 100 flat wagons. In addition, we are repairing 600 wagons, and we are also planning to procure 165 saddles. These are the ones which we put on flat wagons to convey coils. So, wagons. On the checks, Mr. Chairman, allow me invite the head of finance possible to respond to the issues.
Accounts, all receipts are 918.
918. Thank you, Chair. 918 is the Stanbic bank account number where the proceeds are deposited.
Okay, were these payments made by check or they were brought over to your office?
Some was cash, some was checks.
How much was cash and how much was it by check? Out of the 2 billion, and why?
I would request to find out. I would request to get the exact amount of money that was.
Can't you estimate whether 1 billion was by cash and then 1 billion was by check?
If you give me a few minutes, I can find out.
But Chair,
thank you.
To a supplement on yours.
Yeah.
Madam.
Chair, where?
And the kilograms which were sold, kilograms were 1,260,500 kg, and we got 2,042,400. 2 billion. The kg was 1,260,500 kg, and the funds we got was 20100000. That is 2.042 billion 10,000.
Clarification, Chair. Did you just get the money received and divided by the unit price, or you can verify that information with evidence to the committee?
Yeah.
Yes, we have the contract management report. We can avail to the committee, sir.
And then the issue of the unit price in kgs.
Chair, we need that information in the next 30 minutes. We need that information in the next 30 minutes. Because we are suspicious you have just done any computation here.
No, sir. We are going to avail the contract management report.
In 30 minutes, please.
Yes.
Chair, I hand over back to you.
But you see, even if you are to compute like you have stated 1,260,000 5 kgs, that means you'll have sold sold 69 wagons, not 118. There's a deficit of 49 wagons.
Chairperson and members, also we are going to avail you with the Board of Survey, which has the photos of all wagons disposed of. You find that some of the wagons are half wagons.
How did they cut a wagon into half?
I think that's how the Board of Survey found them.
I'm just asking. Because someone can vandalize maybe a part, but how does someone come to URC and cut a wagon into half and take it?
Chair, the Board of Survey, I think, will tell us, because that's the thing they found on the ground. And they have the photos, which are going to vote to this committee.
Can we start capacity building? It's 4.8 million euro. Computers do not. Euro furniture is not there. The vehicles, they bought only 3, and the vehicles were second hand. We have gone, with the help of RCID, we have gone to that company, Cosmas. We were there to establish the cost, and we have already established the cost you bought each, including the receipts. So, we don't need to waste much time on those things that don't exist. But the MD required last time to come back and explain to us how they came to establish this amount of money, to train people. So you have a chance to explain, then we go straight to the civil works. That is the former MD. Kindly proceed. Do you need to say something?
For the record, once again, for members who may not have been here last time, my name is Charles Kateba. I'm the former managing director from 2013 to 2020. Mr. Chairman, I asked for the contract agreement document to refresh myself and to appraise myself of some details which were being asked. I'll mention some of them in no.
Good morning. My name is Kasukali Metsera, Member of Parliament, Mwenge Central. Staff.
David Elogu, clerk attached to the committee.
Good morning. Alio Namara, legal officer.
Mwine Mpaka, MP Mbarara City South and Chair of the Committee. Can we have introductions from our guests led by the Honorable Minister?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Madam Julius Wandera, Minister of State for Transport.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, through my Minister of Works and Transport. My name is Kajuna Benon. I'm the Managing Director of URC.
Good morning, Honorable Chairman and members. I'm Engineer Benjamin Olobo. I'm a Board Director, Uganda Railways Corporation. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, members, and my Minister. My name is Philip Bosco Asega, and I'm Principal Internal Auditor and Head of Internal Audit for Uganda Railways Corporation.
Good morning, Chair and members.
Honorable members of Parliament, I'm Grace Opoka, the Acting Corporation Secretary at Uganda Railways Corporation.
Members, I'm Engineer Prosper Msime, Chief Mechanical Engineer, Uganda Railways Corporation.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Nina Nasuna, Chief Finance.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Letitia Nachigud.
Members, my name is Susan Moses, Principal Procurement Office.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm called Ampire Mercy, the Principal Property Management Officer, URC.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Opolot Majid, the Acting Principal Legal Officer, URC.
Good morning, Chair and members. I'm Delia.
And honorable members, I'm Nkuna Richard, Principal Safety, Health and Environment Officer, URC.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members of Parliament, the Principal Finance Officer at Uganda Railways Corporation.
Good morning, members and Chair. Abubakar Rechaki, invited to the committee.
Tom Kimera, former Senior Procurement Officer, URC.
Good morning, Chair and honorable members. My name is Pamela Ruchechera. I'm the Principal
Principal Mechanical Engineer, URC.
Mr. Kananga is on the way coming, sir.
Okay. Okay, allow me to welcome you to this committee sitting.
But I want to thank the committee and your leadership. This is our fourth interface with this committee, and probably if we add on your visit yesterday, so it would be number 5. But I think the more we have been interacting, the more we are also getting to discover many things that are leading us to the right way of how we are going to resolve this matter. So, Mr. Chair, I know all your comments are positive and you are doing your work. For us, we are here to support and provide with the information that shall also inform the resolution that the committee will decide on to make a statement to the floor, which definitely as a ministry we shall also use to see how we can improve going forward. Mr. Chair, we have submitted a file. We are sorry we could have not made enough copies for each member because sincerely it's bulky and the time wasn't sufficient to have each document printed in copies. So we only submitted a file to you. But that file, what it contains is partly what you required us to do from the first meeting, the last meeting we had here. So basically we were trying to answer onto what you asked us to do before we come back. So whatever is there, we are going to attempt, and I want to use the word attempt. We might not be to the level you require, but attempt to see that we answer. But any other question that comes out, definitely we shall be able to see how my team will provide. If it pleases Mr. Chair, I've made a simple 2-page statement, and the rest of other things that you have asked some other questions, maybe my team also will come in to answer, to add on something. I've attached the statement, but I will allow me to run through it probably in 5 minutes. It's just a statement to the Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on physical infrastructure, submitting additional information as requested by the committee on 12th August 2026. In reference to the committee's request for further information and supporting documents concerning the Spanish loan, the meter gauge railway refurbishment project, and the capacity building program, URC has reviewed the matters raised and coordinated responses from the responsible departments and officers. The responses below are based on the records presently available with supporting documents referenced in the annexes. On the board resolutions and Solicitor General's approval, URC has identified a board resolution of 11th May 2018 clearing procurement of the consultant to undertake the feasibility study, and the board minute of 29th January 2022 in which the capacity building project was presented and considered. The Solicitor General's approval of the MGR refurbishment project and the capacity building program are also available, and these are in Annex 1 and 2. They are attached. Number 2, regarding the concrete sleeper factory establishment on the government land, URC sought the Solicitor General's opinion on 4th July 2025. According to the Solicitor General, on clause 2.2 of the contract, provided that Imathia would install the concrete plant on the land available by URC, and that the factory was owned by Imathia with the land to be restored after decommissioning. The Solicitor General therefore advised that the factory belongs to Imathia under the agreed contract. However, before decommissioning, URC entered a 5-year tenancy agreement with Imathia on 8th April 2024 at Uganda shillings 1,416,000 per month. The opinion and the tenancy agreement documentation are at Annex 3. The Uganda Railways Corporation has availed the handover report for the Office of the Chief Mechanical Engineer from Engineer Peter Katwebaze, you'll forgive me, I'm from Eastern, and I have a lot of nilotics in me, to Engineer Robert Sekitoriko Kafero, and the subsequent handover by Engineer Kafero to the acting engineer at a time, Engineer Geoffrey Busulwa Sekamate. These are attached as Annex 4. Number 4, for the capacity building project, appointment of the Principal Human Resource Officer as a contract manager dated 25th March 2022, and the appointment of the contract management team dated 26th September 2023 are also available. And the minutes dated 18th October 2023 and 24th October 2023 and 11th January 2024. All these have been availed, and these documents form Annex 5. On the international travel arrangements, logistics and payment for experts and their backroom staff are undertaken at the consultant's discretion. From their monthly lump sum payment, this team comprising URC board and staff members traveled to Spain in November 2022 and also in May 2024 and October 2024 respectively. Nomination list and back to office report attached as Annex 6. On the approximately 300,000 euros miscellaneous expenditure, this formed a part of the euros 4.8 million lump sum capacity building contract sum paid through the 36 equal month invoices. The contract manager and the internal auditor checked the payment, after which the managing director approved and forwarded them to the Ministry of Works and Transport. Available approved payment certifications between March 2022 and September 2024 are attached as Annex 7. The payment approval chain included the consultant's project manager, URCC contract manager, URCC internal auditor, URCC managing director, the permanent secretary, Minister of Works and Transport, and submitted to Spain by Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. Number 7, the written personal statement from the beneficiaries of the 4 projects pickup have been submitted as Annex 8. Internal audit has also been requested to confirm in writing whether the furniture, software, and hardware supplied to the project office were delivered. The statement from the principal internal auditor is attached as Annex 9. Number 8, regarding Concertrans office space available, records indicate that notwithstanding the contractual provision for office space, no rental fees were paid. No documented explanation for this omission from the contract management team or the acting managing director at the time has been found. URC management will engage Concertrans to commence the process of claiming the rent in arrears. Number 9, on spending at source, URC is a statutory corporation established under the Uganda Railways Corporation Act, Cap 216, Section 25 and 26 of the Act provides for sources of funds and expenditure following approval by the board and the minister responsible for transport. The corporation exercises its authority within the government's budgeting framework. URC has written to the permanent secretary to the Treasury for the confirmation requested by the committee, and the response is awaited. The correspondences to the PST is attached as Annex 10. Regarding the change in scope of the railways refurbishment, URC contracted MS Imathia Construction in June 2020 to refurbish Kampala Namanve and Tororo Malaba. The project included upgrading 39 kilometers rail of UAIC 54 kg/m rail and steel sleepers to pre-stressed concrete sleepers. In June 2021, URC contracted MS China Railway and Bridge Corporation for the emergency rehabilitation from Malaba to Mukono to connect with the rehabilitation of Nairobi-Malaba line. The change allowed the China Railway Bridge Corporation to undertake Malaba-Tororo and consequently moved Imathia's scope from Mukono to Kampala. The contract addendum is attached as Annex 11. On the disposal of the 81 wagons, PDU has prepared a report giving the company's involvement, numbers of wagons, wagon IDs, proof of payment, and disposal methods. The PPDA justification, approval of the disposal method, and the chief government valuer communication stroke approval are also available. These documents are attached as Annex 12. In conclusion, Mr. Chair, URC submits the foregoing responses and supporting records presented as records present. The information presently available to the corporation, where confirmation from an external authority remains outstanding, for instance from the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, the committee would be furnished with the responses immediately upon receipt of such information. URC remains committed to providing a complete and verifiable information to facilitate the committee in its consideration onto the matters raised. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Can the members who have just gotten in, can they get a copy of that presentation? Even the deputy chair doesn't have one. Okay, we are giving.
Okay, thank you very much. Provide all the documentation. I think we have been able to provide most of the information which we requested for from the first meeting we held here up to now. And we are still open, Mr. Chairman. We should be able to give much more information as you request, because the opportunity is for us now to make sure that, yes, URC is supported through and through, so that we can be able to do the mandate for which we are supposed to undertake. I thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone, you know who participated in the approval of this loan? We are giving a chance. Anyone wants to say some procedure?
This statement is not owned by anyone.
Yes, the copy we have is signed. They may not have signed all the copies. But you can sign yours if you wish.
Chair, how about the annexes which are stated here? But
This very large file I'm trying to read through. Anything you want to say, yes?
Part of the Annexure 9 that was referred to is what I stated. I don't know whether I should make it. Since in your earlier opening remark, you indicated that any document given to you there, the author puts it clear. I seek your guidance whether I should go ahead to put it in writing.
Please.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Again, through my MD and the Minister, Annex 9 is about report on the confirmation of the receipt of project, office furniture, software, and hardware under capacity building by the internal auditor. Chair,
the annexes are here. It's a very big file. They didn't make copies for. You also have the annexes? The clerk should have informed the guests that every member should have a copy. And you know, this is not should have all these copies.
Chair, I think we gave 27 copies. There should be. In response to the request by the Parliamentary Sectoral Committee on Infrastructure, I make the following. 1. The office furniture. Whereas the contract provided under section miscellaneous expenses that the project will provide fittings and furniture for the project, and this is further budgeted at euros 60,000 in page 14 of the contract. The furniture procured was not brought in to the attention of the internal audit for witness of delivery in accordance with the Treasury instructions. Therefore, in conclusion, there were no office furniture delivered and witnessed by internal audit at Uganda Railways Corporation by the consultants who were the service providers for the trainings and the capacity building project funded by a loan secured from the government of Spain. And this is clearly because we do not have a record of any delivery to Uganda Railways. Whatever they had in their office remained as like property of the consultants. So we can't confirm delivery of furniture. Although interviews indicated that the fittings was about the office partitioning, we also still can't confirm that that is the value that is put there. Chair number 2, software. Whereas the contract signed between Uganda Railways and consultants dated 18th June 2020 indicated that a document software was part of the items budgeted for. It was one of the assets or deliverables at Uganda Railways. The conclusion, there was no software purchased and delivered to Uganda Railways head offices. However, it should be noted that through the interviews with the key experts, it was confirmed that there was a cloud stroke document management software which was provided for at euros 5,900, and it is one of those deliverables to be handed over to Uganda Railways Corporation, and there is no evidence of the same being handed over And further information on this is an annex, appendix 1. And this appendix was at the point when I was instructed by the accounting officer to audit the issues surrounding the delivery of vehicles and that particular area. And if we're to go to that, it's actually appendix 2. And you will see it in appendix, not appendix 1, my apologies, Chair. You will see it in the appendix 2, where a report on the vehicles procured by, that's page 8, for purpose of that page 8. A report on the vehicles procured by MS Consultants, that was the report, and that's an extract. And this particular finding is on 3.0 conclusion. You can make it there, and the subsequent preceding issues. This was clearly identified to be one of the deliverables, but up to date, it has not been handed over to URC. Chair, number 3, hardwares. Whereas there are many hardwares to deliver at the project, the scope of my report will be limited to computers and other IT equipment, IT, that's infrastructure, IT equipment, and the project vehicles as below. Computers. Internal audit received a directive from the Managing Director to verify the ICT equipment from consultants based on his earlier memo dated 6 July 2025. Attached to this memo was a submission notice from the Corporation Systems Analyst forwarded by the acting CFO then, and that was dated 7th May 2025. The submission guided that ICT had received or has received various ICT assets and items from consultants. The record guided that there were two lists had items received by the contract manager, stroke principal human resource officer, that's PHRO, and those collected and verified by the ICT officers. From the reconciliations and physical checks on the items reported to have been handed over by consultants, we were not able, out of the many, we were not able to see 13 items out of 53. These 53 items included 30 computers and other IT items. And particularly on computers, 9 were not seen. Out of 30 computers, 9 were not seen. And that is in the Annex 2 report, which is also in this brief. Number 3, the vehicles. Arising from the 180th EXCO meeting held on 18th August 2025, in the station board room, it was resolved that in item number 5 under reactions that the principal internal auditor is given the contract of consultants regarding the vehicles and he should review and guide on what should be done to help Chief Mechanical Engineer, Chief Finance Officer come up with the cost of the vehicles procured under the project for recovery. It was found out that 4 pickup vehicles were to be procured under the capacity building component, and there is no record, Chair and members, how many were actually bought, as there is no evidence of handover in accordance with Part 44.2 of the GCC within the URC. In conclusion, it was confirmed that the contract provided for procurement of 4 pickup vehicles. It was also recommended that the full depreciated vehicle values be recovered from the consultants, and upon a communication from the Managing Director to the management of consultants, 2 brand new Mitsubishi pickup trucks were finally delivered to Uganda Railways on 30th January 2026 in compensation of the fully depreciated values of the project vehicles. What I mean here is, whereas the contracts provided 4, and upon 3 years of execution, they should have handed over these 4 vehicles to Uganda Railways, and using the government depreciation requirement, a vehicle is in use for 5 years or on attainment of 250 kilometers, whichever comes earlier. So we chose to use the 5 years, and now that the vehicles had been in use for 3 years, and we depreciated for 3 years, the equivalent of the depreciated values came to about 50,000 euros. And upon that, the MD even sought advice from Solicitor General and wrote to management of consultants So Consultants decided to, instead of sending that money, decided to buy 2 new pickup trucks and delivered them to Uganda Railways. And on 30th January 2026, those pickups were delivered and I witnessed them. Chair, that is the brief I wanted to take through my appendix, and the other details are just the earlier reports we had done in our role to advise the management on how to handle those 2 items. I submit, Chair, through my minister. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
It is true that the URC Act authorizes URC to spend, to generate money and also spend it at source. And just to add on to the submission that was earlier made, Chairman, it is to inform this Honorable Parliament that URC is a subvention under the Ministry of Works. So whenever we are to get any money from the government, it comes through a subvention, and URC is not a vote. Thank you, Chair.
Anyone else? Procurement?
Thank you, Chair. Through Honorable Minister, Annex 12, which is disposal of 81 wagons. Chair and the members.
As you clarify, you are selling, or you have already sold 154 wagons. So as you clarify, because you sold 81 to Diamond Steel, you sold 34 to China Chang Iron this year, and I've also come across minutes where this managing director is selling 154. So don't just take us through 81. Proceed.
Yeah. They were not 81, they were 152. And the information which you have seen for Diamond Steel and the China Chang, just it came close over the financial year, but it was initiated last year, and the number was 152. Chair, another clarification.
Chair, through you, may he break down the 152?
Yes, Chair. We have disposal to Diamond Steel. There were 118, and China Chang Yang Iron and Steel Company, there were 34, totaling to 152. The record of Board of Survey shows 154. However, the 2 wagons are still there. We are not disposed of. Chair, another clarification. The annex shows that we have a price of 1,500 per kg. I'd like to clarify that this figure is a reserve price from the Chief Government Valuer. The actual price after advertising, Diamond Steel Uganda Limited quoted a price of 1,620, and he paid basing on that price per kilogram of 1,620. Lastly, also I want Uganda shillings per kg, 1,620. Lastly, I'd like also to clarify that Diamond Steel Uganda has taken all the items he paid for, and China Changchiang Iron and Steel Company has not yet taken the assets. They are still with the Uganda Railways Corporation. Thank you, Chair.
Before you close, there is a term procurement, direct disposal.
Yes.
There's a term you used the previous time. We asked you how you disposed these wagons, and you told us you used direct disposal.
No, Chair, it was not a direct disposal. We disposed using accreditation. Accreditation, it is an alternative system which is provided in the PPDA CAP 205 as amended in 2023, section 41. It gives an entity a section to go and request for alternative system based on the available circumstances. For example, Uganda Railways Corporation wrote to PPDA and got accreditation to sell all the scrap steel items to the end users, which are the manufacturers of the steel products, in order to achieve value for money and also to reduce on the risk of having the brokers, all the other individuals who used to buy scrap from Uganda Railway. After buying, they use the same receipt to steal our materials. When they were hunted, they used those receipts to claim that they had bought the materials from the Uganda Railway. So the Uganda Railway had to write to the PPDA to get accreditation such that we can monitor after sale to ensure that the materials have been delivered to the factories directly. Whatever we find within, it is the automatically that it was stolen. So the entity advertised in a newspaper, all factors competed. It was not direct. Thank you, Chair.
See if we can reconcile with what they have.
Give us the different types of wagons and the standard weight for each wagon.
Yeah, that one is technical. I request the mechanical to create
24 wagons. One of the main reasons you gave, these wagons got accidents. Where did these wagons get these accidents?
Chair, also that is a user who is a mechanical who has that information.
Okay, point us the right direction.
Chair, before procurement goes to hand over that each one of this is weighing this, you have the report. Definitely you should be having that report.
Thank you, Chair. The report,
or as they were coming for, the bidders were coming for inspection, you had a method of weighing each wagon instantly. What were you relying on as a data?
Thank you, Chairperson. Procurement action file. After declaration, we inform the Board of Survey to go through and identify all the locations, and they come up with a reserve price.
Were you just looking at wagons, like saying this house is in Chiwatule, that one is in Nigeria, and the other one is in Chira? Or you were measuring them, each of them?
At the beginning, they had the estimated cost, but at the time of sale...
Based on what? Based on weight or based on numbers? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, that's what I requested the mechanical engineer to help us, because that information...
But how did you do your solicitation? You should have already gotten information from mechanical. How did you do your solicitation?
It was by weighing.
So we want to see the report of the weighing, which PDU has, before you even hand over to the mechanical.
Yes,
the report of the weighing, where is it?
The report, all of the information is under Board of Survey report, and it is available. We can give to this committee.
Secondly, Chair, during our statement that 394 wagons were missing in Kenya, will this disposing of change this number from 394, or this number 394 will still remain?
To have that information, because after disposing it, the custodian of the assets of the corporation is finance. They reconcile and put the right numbers in the asset register.
Because the information we have is that you went to Kenya, you sold those things there, then you decided to report them as a loss. 394 wagons. They are part of the things you have boarded off. You have disposed of illegally. True or false?
It's not true. It was illegal because all the procedures were followed to dispose them off.
Let's first get...
relinquish this burden of his to the mechanical. You are the procurement. When you advertised for this disposal, you must have done specification. What did you specify as the weight of the wagons for disposal? So, and that's what we want, so that we calculate against the price you have indicated here, and then we reconcile with the amount you received. Then we see whether there was a value for money, or there was collusion, or otherwise. I beg to submit.
You see why members are concerned. Then you again told us, no, actually from the documents I've seen, you requested the chief government valuer to come and value them. Now, how was the chief government valuer going to value them when you were selling them per kilo? And then for you to set a price, you must have already established, you, the procurement department. That's what the deputy chair is talking about. That's why Honorable Fred is talking about. You must have had these on your fingertips as a procurement and disposal unit. And you have not even told us how you want to sell the ones in Tanzania, because I have the advert here. I don't know how you're going to sell wagons in Tanzania.
Accreditation. An entity goes for accreditation only when the systems available cannot function. Later you advertised. What accreditation were you looking for in PPDA? We want you to clarify very well under which PPDA accredited you as a public entity. What is that specific that we were accredited?
Thank you. Chairman, my guidance is let PDU first respond to those questions.
And the members, let me start with the garbage in, garbage out. Before I will dispose of the values of the items. And that exercise is done by an independent committee, which is a board of survey for disposal. And whatever we put in a disposal plan, it comprises the price, which is assisted by the chief government valuer, and the weight estimates, because the end user, which is mechanical, is part of that committee. Whatever information we get, the committee is independently liable for that information. So we can't dispose of without having an independent report, which has a member of chief government valuer. Next, on the accreditation, the accreditation we got was to sell strictly to end users. If we had not accredited with that special accreditation, it means that even the brokers in the Katwe everywhere had a chance to participate. So because of that accreditation, our advert was specifically and discriminated brokers for the reason which I gave of safety of our slippers and other steel products. If we had not got that accreditation, it was against of the law to have an advert which was discriminatory to some of the participants. So the accreditation was specific, such that we don't deal with the brokers which could buy our materials and they use the receipts to say that they bought our materials from us officially. So that was the special to get the accreditation. And we got the advert. The advert was strictly for only factories to participate. And it has helped us to monitor after selling the scrap has to go direct to the factory. Any scrap in a case is within the system, we just know this is the stolen material. Because whatever we buy, it has to be delivered directly to the factory. Chair, on the issue, I'd like to clarify that.
Chair, before he loses track.
The wagons are in the numbers.
But you sold it in kilograms?
Yes, because...
So where are the weights you used for selling?
We need to have the board of survey report.
No, but for them it was in numbers. It was not in kilograms.
I think he has just told us he sold in kilos. Now we are going to establish the cost, because we have the money the company is paid.
Yes.
But we need first to know the weight of each type of wagon.
That's what I requested the mechanical engineer to help me, because they
you finish with the Tanzania, because actually you already sold. I see you sold wagons in Malindi, wagons in Pamba, in Ilala, in Pungu, in Ruvu, in Tabora, and Mwanza. You have already sold them.
It's not true, Chair.
Tell us.
We advertised. We got 8 farms from Tanzania which participated. The evaluation took place. However, after the evaluation exercise, all farms quoted below our reserve price. The evaluation committee recommended a retender. And right now, we are in the process of retendering. Our wagons are still there in Tanzania.
So when we were looking for our wagons, why didn't you tell us, why did you wait for us to dig up all this information?
Chair, I've been taxed for disposal. That's where I have more information to give to this committee. I think other departments will give other information.
Okay, so, engineer, tell us the type.
There are many types of wagons, specifically for Uganda Railways. We have 4 types. One, we have covered wagons. We have flat wagons. Then we have tank wagons. And then we also have ballast hoppers. This is also another type of wagon.
But repeat that.
Ballast hoppers. Ballast. Ballast is B-A-L-L. Yes, exactly. Those which carry stones, yes.
Kilos, weight per wagon.
So these wagons have different kilograms. For covered wagons, depending on the material used, or from where the country of origin, they range from 20 to 25 tons. Covered wagons. Then flat wagons from 18 to 20. Then tank wagons.
Why is it from 18 to 20 for the flat wagon?
I said the weight depends on the material and also on the country of origin.
Yes, but you have not been buying from different countries. There's a specific country you have been procuring these wagons from.
Not really, because some wagons came from Zimbabwe, others came from India, so they are different countries. Then tank wagons, they vary from 25 to 30 tons, and then ballast hoppers, 18 to 25. I thank you, Chair.
How many wagons did you sell to 18? So which types? Tell us. We have so many things to do. We have not even got into mechanical. The refurbishment of the railway. I see the former MD here also, he has to explain his capacity building. So we have so much. Just tell us what it is, so that the members can do the math as you proceed. Oh.
The 118 you have sold to Diamond Steel, are they of the same type? Yes, are they covered only, or are they flat only, or are they the tanks only, or the ballast is talking about? I think the ballast is the one which looks like a wheelbarrow, right? So tell us the one you sold to Diamond Steel, so that we calculate the kilos here.
Engineer, what is LSB wagon? What does that mean?
It is a pound. That's a pound. It's another term used in measurements. It is a measurement unit.
But you describe it as a type of wagon, LSB wagon.
No. That is low-sided. In flat wagons, we have those of high density and low density.
But the kilos are still the same, in between 18 to 50
exactly,
tons.
Yes. Yes, Chair.
Okay.
Chair, before you are describing in quantity as one, then you are giving a unit rate per kilo. But we don't know the weight that you are getting the values at the end. So in the end, how much did we obtain out of disposal? Then we reconcile with your data. Are all the members there? Attachment B on that report.
Thank you, Chairperson. Clarification which I gave, that in the report, the price which is recorded is a reserve price from Chief Government Valuer. I wanted to clarify that.
So you sold at what price? The actual
1,620. That's the clarification which I gave to the committee.
What is an HLB wagon? What is the weight?
Chair, through you.
Proceed.
I think I want to draw your attention and the members to this specific. The weight should be subsequently tagged to the price of the wagon. So I do not want us to assume it is a very systematic omission to try and confuse this committee. But also, Chair, I want to know the weight of the wagon. Maybe this is for the mechanical team. Do you remove other components like the brakes, the couplings, those things that are reusable? Is that also included in the weight, or do you exclude those and get the net weight?
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Chair.
Just a minute, Honorable Zadok.
Yes, all those
Honorable
items.
Zadok.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Mtekanga Zadok is my name, and I'm a member of Parliament for Buweju County. Chair, I think these people, they are hiding a lot of information. And yesterday I was one of the, and when we were going to the field, one of their staff told the engineer went with. And now I have realized that even what they are bringing here on paperwork, it is lacking a lot of information. Chair, I would like to understand from these people, because they are saying they are selling wagons which had accidents, which have depreciated. And when you look, for example, on this China Chang something, they have wagons from number 1 up to number 17. Each wagon was able to generate 21 million. You want to tell me that all the 17 wagons had a similar depreciation? Even on the same time when they got accidents, they remained in the same weight? There are no some components which got lost? What does that one mean? It means that you are just concocting a figure and bringing it here. Because I'm expecting that after the accident, at least every wagon should be having a different weight, meaning that even the cost here should be slightly either higher or less than the other. But here you are telling us that every wagon was able to generate 21 million. How is that one possible? Please, you better give us the right information, or you tell us you are not ready, we find it on our own. Thank you.
Okay, procurement. You sold, now I'm talking about, what is the steel, diamond steel, and covered wagons. Now, the engineer told us a wagon is between 20 to 25. Let's assume 20 metric tons, not so? So how many metric tons are those? You need your calculator for this. $52 covered wagons. If he's saying between 20 and 25, let's go for 20, the list. So that's 1,040, is that not so? So you multiply by 1,620. What do you have? What is 1,684? That is one in shillings. How much is that? $1 million?
1 billion. 1.6 billion.
1.6 billion. 800. 1.684 800,000. Not so?
Yes, Honorable.
You further sold 51 flat wagons. He told us it's between 18 to 20. Let's go for 18, the worst case scenario. So what do you have there? How many metric tons? I want them to work with us. How many metric tons are those?
Honorable Chair, repeat the quantity.
You sold 51 flat wagons. Engineer told us it's between 18 to 20. So we go for 18.
Chair, maybe if I can say something.
Mm-hmm.
The weight I told you is the weight of a new wagon, a functional wagon. Like we have been saying before, because of lack of spare parts, we have been cannibalizing these wagons. So by the time you sell it as scrap, it doesn't have all the parts. So you cannot take the weight of the new wagon.
We have gone for the worst case. It's okay. At
Yes,
the end,
Chair.
we shall look at the price, then you explain the weight. So maybe they remove the wagon's door.
Yes, maybe the doors.
We shall go there. Because you have not yet
the
told us
exhaust.
where these accidents happened.
Okay, Chair, thank you.
So you can't justify that the doors went. Can we proceed? 51 flat wagons, between 18 to 20.
160.
Okay, times 1,620, how much is that?
Chair, now that's the final figure.
Okay. You have, because those are 918,000 metric tons, times 1,620 in shillings, how much is that?
1.48
Billion.
Yes.
1.48
billion.
One hooper wagon. Between 18 to 25. So those are 18,000 metric tons times 1,620. What do you have? Pardon? Mm-hmm. That's 29,160,000. You sold one livestock wagon, which is the same, between 18 to 20. Let's go for 18. It's still 29,160,000. You sold 3 HCB wagons. The engineer told us it's also between 18 to 25. Let's go for 18. 54 times 1,620. 87,480,000. So when you add the total, because you told us you are selling in per kilo, 20. On the fingertips.
Excuse me, Chair. Thank you. My name is Eugene Geoffrey, Member of Parliament for Kyoga North, member of this committee. Chair, I thought upon disposal, this work we are doing would have been contained in a specific disposal report of the PDU, of which would now be looking at that report and comparing with what they have submitted. Can the PDU provide that specific disposal report that indicates the disposal per wagon, the tons, and the proceeds per each wagon disposed of? Thank you.
So, procurement, how much did Diamond Steel pay for the wagons?
Honorable Chair and members, I have to first verify, because it was not a single payment. He made an advance payment, he loaded. When it reached a certain level, he paid another advance, so I have to confirm with the finance and the contract management team and confirm how much he paid, because as I said, the process is still ongoing. We have not finalized the process.
You are selling more wagons?
Bwana Chair, I think the PPU person is not being sincere to Uganda Railways. The amount that was advanced plus the balance gives you the total amount received. So can you give us how much money did you get from Diamond Steel? You stop confusing us.
The total you got from all the wagons was 3.7 billion, if I remember seeing that receipt. Yes.
Chairman.
From the 152.
Chairman, they have only managed to. The first receipt is on 4th of February this year, 600 million. Immediately that day, maybe they asked them that please add some more money. That same day, there's a receipt, 231 million, 60,000. Then on 28th of April this year, another receipt of 429 million, 300,000. Then a fourth one on 15th of May, the day I was being sworn in, 772, 740. Preliminarily, these ones add to 2,033,646. But Chairman, very interestingly, I have never seen receipts of this nature. I'm not any accountant, but I have never seen a receipt where the payment balance is not indicated. The receipts that I've commonly seen will say received 600, balance this. Members, if you scrutinize these receipts, maybe they are customized for Uganda Railway Authority use, Corporation use. The balances are not indicated. But Chair, away from that, I wanted to know, clearing all these disposals, all these things were happening within the technocrats.
No, the board cleared and they are here. I've seen the board minutes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It should be out of the total.
Then the
How
balance,
much was the total that you were able to receive an advance? You received the advance out of what?
Balance is this.
Think time when a company pays, you can't know the balance because you have to get the balance after going to the field to weigh and have the actual kilograms.
Billion, because they paid 2 billion. But when we do the calculation per kg, because we use the worst case scenario of If it was 18 to 20 metric tons, we did 18. So even that component of maybe a door was stolen should be covered in there. So where is the 1.284660 billion?
Check. And the receipt balance is given when you are very certain that you are expecting 2 billion, give an example, and you have been given 1 billion. But a scenario where you are selling things per kilo and you are not certain finally how many there will be kilos sold, it's hard to estimate, to put a balance. You will be putting something that is imaginary.
Mr. Sega, you are a very senior auditor. Are there receipts where even in good practice, the space will be there, and then you fail to indicate that it's not relevant now to indicate the balance, but the space will be there on the receipt? As a senior auditor, what kind of receipts are these, which you have okayed for the corporation to use?
Mr.
At
Chair.
least I've respected you before, I know you before.
Honorable Minister.
Staff who is struggling to answer. I think we don't want to waste a lot of time. We have a lot of things to do, including this committee. What is the practice that railways use to sell the wagons? Let the members understand. Do you sell wagons like you go to a supermarket and you buy and you get a receipt? Do you get advance payments before ascertaining the weight? And then we ascertain the weight is when you can now deduct after they have taken. Explain to members very fast and then we get to another area. It's just something the members want clarity. Because the practice of selling wagons is different from normal business. And that's what you should tell the members here.
Chair.
And by now he should know the total number of...
Chair, through you, I also I think it is very clear that he knows what happened, and department that knows the truth, and they don't want to speak and reveal the truth because they are defending a colleague. Thank you.